the reason why it was so hard for me to be able to live too is because I was sexually abused when I was in elementary school by a boy. I kept that fear, that shame, that guilt inside of me. My dad's not around to be there for me. I have no guidance. Every male figure that I followed kind of like led me down the wrong path. And when I started getting into crystal meth at 15, I was being molested for 6 months in a garage by a family friend. And I didn't know how to open up about that. So all that was in the back of my head and in my heart. So when I was 25, when I hit that point of the final self-destruction, I just didn't know what to do with that. And I felt that if there's this God out there, why do you have me get abused? Why do you have me get molested? Why do you take away a loving father from me? Why do you give me this life where we're living in poverty? My mom has cancer. I feel stupid. I feel ugly. Like all this, like, why did you give me this? And so I tried committing suicide. And I remember I was laying there on the floor and something just clicked in my head. And usually when a guy puts his hand on my shoulder, I like freak out because it just reminds me of the trauma. Well, what I got from this was I felt this sense of peace.
A physical touch?
Physical touch from a man makes me freak out. And I felt like a hand. It wasn't a physical hand, but I felt something on my shoulder when I was in my room begging. And I felt this sense of relief. And it just clicked in my head to make a phone call. So I remember I grabbed my phone. I called my buddy and I was like, hey, how did you change your life? He goes, let me pick you up. So he picks me up, takes me back to his house, and he reads me some scripture. And at this point, I didn't read the Bible. I didn't go to church. I didn't do none of that stuff. And what I got from it was God gives his strongest battles to his strongest warriors. And in that moment, I understood. God said, Fausto, you're going to come down to earth. You're going to have this life where you will be abused. You will be molested. Your dad won't be there. You will be a drug addict. You will be an alcoholic. But it's because you can handle it. Because you can get through it to help others with that stuff.
Hello and welcome to another exclusive interview by Recovery Today magazine, where first and foremost, we are a magazine of hope. Whether you're considering addiction recovery for yourself, a loved one, maybe you're in recovery a little while or a long, long time, you're going to find all kinds of topics and information related to addiction recovery and really living a happy, successful, sober life at Recovery Today. My name is Rob Hanley. I'm the editor-in-chief of Recovery Today. And with every single guest, as usual, I'm very, very excited. He's very cool. You're going to love this guy. He is a lifelong survivor, recovery survivor of addiction and trauma, who has constantly battled suicidal tendencies. You wouldn't know by the big smile on his face. And up until recently, he found purpose in his suffering when depression and anxiety were constant enemies. By using it as a superpower to enjoy life, he now helps others to find joy in their suffering, working as a motivational speaker, recovery coach, author, and he is known as, and I will testify to this, as the jump rope king. He now works to spread hope and champion sobriety, prevention, and treatment. My guest today is Fausto Castellanos. I probably completely murdered either your first and or your last name, but AKA Sober Fausto. That's what he goes by, Sober Fausto. Thanks, brother, for coming on. First of all, how do you pronounce your name?
So you got my first name right. So that's the hardest one, I think. So yeah, Fausto Castellanos. The two L's make a
I was El Gringo, man. Castellanos, right? I'm gonna give me a quesadilla. That was how I used to order it in the back of. Good to meet you, dude. Thanks for jumping on. By the way, where are you from? What nationality is Castellanos?
So I am just plain Mexican.
Okay.
And
not no plain Mexican, plain anything, right?
I don't know. I think I am. I'm a fake Mexican. I don't even speak Spanish. Let's go with that. And I'm from Orange County, California.
OC. All right, man. Well, dude, I guess to set this up a little bit and kind of our little jocularity, our little joking around here that we have going on is we've been wanting to do this for a while.
Mm.
You know, thank you for telling me that right off the bat. Like, I've wanted to do this for a long time. And, you know, a lot of times I'll do drive-bys or something like that, it seems like, and I don't mean to do it, but I'll say, we should do an interview. And then it goes on weeks and weeks. It's a month or two later. And then like, no, really, we should set something up.
Mm.
So the reason why is I've loved all of your stuff. We became friends and I think we're friends, even though this is really the first conversation we've had, but that's how I feel. But we became friends on like Instagram, and I would see you doing these jump ropes and stuff. And then as I see you like right now, even and just pre-chatting with you, you seem like so full of joy. So what is so striking to me, as particularly as somebody who has also suffered really, really, really deep, dark depression, is kind of trying to unlock it and figure it out. And then I love the idea of this superpower, dude. I say that all the time. So before we jump into the nitty gritty, into depression, addiction, recovery, you know, other than being a fake Mexican, you said that, not me. Other than being or playing whatever you had said, tell us about, give us your story, man. Give us a background. And this is Recovery Today. So we go, you know, we go, this is PG-13, man. We go deep and dark here.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I grew up in Orange County, just a typical kid for me, super shy, insecure, uh, not having the father in my life. You know, he was really abusive physically and emotionally, but he wasn't ever really there. And I learned how to become a know-it-all, how to become a people pleaser, be the funny guy, to be able to just fit in, because I would like view people in school and be like, how do they do that? Like, is it the way they're dressing? Is it what they're saying? Is it like what is it, you know? So I would wear these masks. And in that, my mind was trying to do whatever I could to avoid conflict, to avoid, you know, being judged. So with that, as soon as I found alcohol, it was the thing that I found that shut up that voice in my head. So because that voice shut up in my head, I was like, I found the solution on my problems, because this is what I wanted to shut up. And in that process of that, I started getting curious about, you know, drugs, alcohol, and then relationships came into it, right? I would always calm down. Oh, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry. All right, guys, it's not working. Ah.
Look at the baby. Look at the baby.
Okay, cut the video, edit here.
Look, Fausto, I had to do it.
No.
All good, brother. Don't worry about it.
Go in there. I'm sorry. Can I see?
We're gonna edit all this out.
Sorry about that.
No problem. We're gonna edit all this out, man. Let me know when you get your earbuds and whatnot. We'll edit it all out.
Yeah, sorry about that.
All good, brother.
All right.
Okay, and 5, 4, 3, 2. You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're in a new location because there was some background noise. So clip, cut, zip, and roll them. You were saying that many faces.
Yeah, so I would wear these, you know, many faces growing up, because my mind was always saying, you know, you're not good enough, you're worthless. And I was so afraid to face this conflict, because conflict for me, it gave me anxiety. It was crippling. And alcohol gave me the solution to get past that. It wasn't that it fixed it. It was the fact that I didn't care. So in that process, I became curious, you know, started using drugs, and I became addicted to that. And the only thing that would calm me down from that was the love drug. The love drug was the only thing where it's like, okay, cool. I got this person in my life. Now I can calm down on the drugs. But then what would happen is, because I'm codependent, as soon as they didn't love me the way I thought they should, I would self-destruct. My self-destruction would go to depression, suicidal thoughts.
Is that a control mechanism, do you think?
What part?
So what you mentioned, like codependency, and then like you'd self-destruct. Is it like is it a control kind of a thing?
I don't know if it's a control type. I think for me, it's I'm always seeking to find something, and the relationship kind of replaces what I'm really feeling, that void. And as soon as that gets taken away, I guess you're right. Yeah, it's like taking my control away because I'm trying to just fill this void. And as soon as something gets taken away from it, I go directly to poor me, right? Self-pity mode, my life's like a sad country song now. And when I would self-destruct, then I would try to go into working out, taking steroids, like whatever it was to get back on my feet until I found that next female. And then the next female comes into my life. Oh, everything's great again. Here we go. And same thing happens. As soon as they don't love me the way they should, self-destruct again. And in that process, I try the same thing over and over, switching my jobs, switching how much money I make, switching how I look, get into another relationship, same cycle. And in that time frame with all that going on, the reason why it was so hard for me to be able to live too is because I was sexually abused when I was in elementary school by a boy. I kept that fear, that shame, that guilt inside of me. My dad's not around to be there for me. I have no guidance. Every male figure that I followed kind of like led me down the wrong path. And when I started getting into crystal meth at 15, I was being molested for 6 months in a garage by a family friend. And I didn't know how to open up about that. So all that was in the back of my head and in my heart. So when I was 25, when I hit that point of the final self-destruction, I just didn't know what to do with that. And I felt that if there's this God out there, why do you have me get abused? Why do you have me get molested? Why do you take away a loving father from me? Why do you give me this life where we're living in poverty? My mom has cancer. I feel stupid. I feel ugly. Like all this, like, why did you give me this? And so I tried committing suicide. And I remember I was laying there on the floor and something just clicked in my head. And usually when a guy puts his hand on my shoulder, I like freak out because it just reminds me of the trauma. Well, what I got from this was I felt this sense of peace.
A physical
Like
touch?
physical touch from a man makes me freak out. And I felt like a hand. It wasn't a physical hand, but I felt something on my shoulder when I was in my room begging. And I felt this sense of relief. And it just clicked in my head to make a phone call. So I remember I grabbed my phone, I called my buddy, and I was like, hey, how did you change your life? He goes, let me pick you up. So he picks me up, takes me back to his house, and he reads me some scripture. And at this point, I didn't read the Bible. I didn't go to church. I didn't do none of that stuff. And what I got from it was God gives his strongest battles to his strongest warriors. And in that moment, I understood. God said, Fausto, you're going to come down to earth. You're going to have this life where you will be abused. You will be molested. Your dad won't be there. You will be a drug addict. You will be an alcoholic. But it's because you can handle it. Because you can get through it to help others with that stuff. Sounds crazy, but it's what helped me get through that moment. And that's what started my journey of sobriety. And in those 3 years of sobriety, I picked up the jump rope from day one. And I said, God gave me this rope for a reason.
You never jumped rope before?
I kind of jumped rope, but never consistently because I was always in my addiction. It was like, yeah, there's a jump rope. I'll jump and I'm going to go party. Okay. But in this moment, I was in my bag and I said, God wants me to jump rope. So I grabbed the rope, started jumping. God said, you're going to be the best jump rope in the world. I said, okay, I'm going to make some videos. I started meditating. I went vegetarian. I started doing the Wim Hof method. I started fasting and I started putting my whole story, everything about me. I put my whole story on Instagram from day one, everything, all my trauma, everything. I said, you know what? This is who I am. And I started getting this feedback from it. Like, dude, that's inspiring. I can't believe you're sharing that. Like, thank you. These are people from like Japan, India. I mean, like different countries. So in my head, I was like, whoa, God, you really have me where I need to be. I've never felt this proud of myself and this happy about myself without doing something, unhealthy. And that just pushed me in this journey of becoming this person who just loved people. And I love people so much. And I was helping people from the streets, homeless people, drug addicts, my friends, family members, random people. Got a job in treatment, became a counselor, met a pastor, started baptizing people, got my master's degree in theology through Set Free, started going to this church, housing people off the church, counseling people for free, just giving love constantly, love to a point where people were just like shocked. They're like, why do you do this? Like, you never asked for anything. Like, you're at my house. You just drove 2 hours. You drove 3 hours. Like, you're buying me food. You're taking me here. You're driving. I'm like, God saved my life. He saved my life. And I just want to give it back because I feel like my purpose is to do this and God will bless me. But I need to help people on this path. And in that journey, I've been able to graduate college. I've been able to become a really good jump roper. I've had people do stories on me. I've had people do podcasts on me. I've had people do articles on me. I've got to travel in different countries. I've gotten in healthy relationships. I got to be there for my mother when she got cancer again in sobriety. I've got to build connections with people. And it's just like, that's all I really wanted in life was to feel like I had a purpose. And that's why I call myself a hope dealer, because my life's about spreading hope to the hopeless, because I know what it feels like to want to kill myself. I know what it feels like to be molested. I know the thoughts that it makes you feel like. I'm scared to be around kids. I don't want kids because the feeling that it creates. I think people think I'm going to touch their kids. That's one of the things you get from it. And it's just like, I know so much pain. I know so much suffering. And I tell people, that's why I'm here to love on you. Because I don't want no one to feel what I felt for 25 years of feeling alone and broken. I'm only alive because of God. And that's just the truth.
So how many years sober do you have now?
A little over 3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about the superpower idea. I write about that quite a bit in the magazine, and I like to reframe things as much as I can. Things that might look like it's a disadvantage, it's a superpower. So like immediately what I think in my mind is I'm thinking of some older movie, but I'm thinking of Tom Cruise and Dustin Hoffman in Rain Man, right? And so here's a guy that's the whole idea of the autistic savant. So he's not even functional or whatnot like that, but his brain works differently. You drop the toothpicks and he says 472, 472, he's got this superpower. So tell me a little bit about the addicted mind or the depressed mind, and tell me about superpowers.
Yeah, well, I think, the addictive mind for me, was like, my mind becomes addicted to whether it's fear, shame, guilt, doing whatever it can to numb a pain, and we're not in control of it. That's the thing. Like, it's like, we're not in control. I know that's wrong, but I'm going to do it. And I don't know how to get out of that. I can't stop it. It's thinking before I even think, and that led me down a path of doing a lot of, terrible things to cope with it. And the depressive mind from that, it's like, well, yeah, I'm depressed because I don't know who I am. I've had to be somebody else for so long that I didn't realize that was causing the depression. I heard something and Jim Carrey says, and I totally agree. It's like, depression is our inner avatar tired of playing this part. My whole life I've been playing a part since a kid. So think about it. I lost my identity as a kid, and now when I'm an adult, it's like, no wonder why I'm so depressed. I have no idea who I am. From the music that I listen to where I live, to what I like, to who I date. I mean, everything, even my job. I go, none of this was even me. I'm only this because I had to survive. And that's what I think the depressive mind is. And it's normal, right? Growing up, kids will be bullies. We want to fit in. If you don't have the parents, cool parents in your life to kind of guide you through it, it's like, how are you supposed to know? You're just, and for the reason why I got out of that depressive state was because of my sobriety, right? So that's why I think sobriety is the superpower that we have. The way I tell people, even people who are not addicts, I say this, they go, I want to reach my full potential. I want to be who I'm supposed to be. I go, cool, stop drinking and stop using. Oh, but I don't have a problem. Okay, listen to me, stop drinking then and stop using. Why? I don't have a problem. I go, because when you continue to drink and use, you cut off your Wi-Fi connection to God. You want to fully connect with him, take out those substances and you'll see what I mean. And I learned that in my sobriety because everything I do is because of me being sober. I was like, I can't do any of this if I wasn't sober. It was always within me, but I couldn't be consistent and see the signs. And so I tell people, being sober is a superpower. Like, look at the people who are sober. They do some amazing things. And you look at their stories to the world, it's like these people are just nothing to me. Drug addicts, homeless people, evil people. And then you see them get sober and what their life looks like. Yeah, it might take a little bit longer to get to where they need to be, but they keep it. These
Do you think
people.
there's a do you think there's a kind of an innate advantage that addicts in recovery, ADD people, depressed people that we have of over normal people that are normie?
Well, I think it's like one of those things that there is no answer really specifically for it. But I do believe that people who have support groups that are free have the ability to, tap into something different because I think a lot of people, everyone wants to be happy. Everybody wants to know their purpose at some point of their life. And I think for us who have support groups, we get this type of love and support that's free, that people spend $1,000 to go to a Tony Robbins event, right? But you go to a meeting, it's like I'm hearing the same thing in this Tony Robbins event, basically. It's the same concept. You read all these self-help books, you can find it in the AA book. And where does it all come down to? It does all come down to the Bible. Every self-help book comes out of that. You
I
can
agree.
find it in there.
I agree.
And so I think for like, that's what I'm saying, like addicts, people with support groups, it's like we get that for free now. I can walk down the street and get fed, you know? And that's the stuff that's going to help us get to this potential. Because I think everybody has it, but are you willing? We have that willingness as people who are in pain. Because on the other side of that pain usually is either life or death. What do you want? Death is my motivation. I don't want to die.
Yeah.
So I'm going to use that. People who don't have that, you know how it is. It's hard to change. When you don't have something pushing you, it's hard. So I think we have that advantage because of that.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I remember when I had experienced my my first depression and was in my I think it was probably like in my mid 20s, somewhere around there, 22, 23, somewhere in that neighborhood. Yeah, up till then, I was, I did think a lot of stuff too. The identity stuff. Who do I want to be? I don't know if that's one of the things I really enjoy about having interviews like this is, I mean, I connect with everybody and I can go, oh, wow, we're alike. The only thing I don't know is like, is everybody else like this too? I don't really know. Like, because I always thought like I could chameleon in. I'm the last of 8 kids. And so, and they're the brothers and sisters, they're different from each other, but I could actually politic. I could blend in. Every one of them thought I was their little protege, So I understand the whole concept of blending in and kind of masks and things of that nature. But I remember when I was first depressed and I went, saw a therapist and I started thinking about kind of reframing the depression. And I thought, no, I think this is a good thing that like I have the capacity to feel extreme emotional pain. And because I have this capacity to feel this emotional pain, ergo, and therefore, I must also have the capacity to feel greater heights of pleasure and achievement and fulfillment and things like that, man. Instead of just being like this, all the time, which honestly would be kind of nice, or maybe it's just, yeah, we had this strop off, but there was this, you also have that kind of potential. So what do you do? Somebody that doesn't know you or know your story, they wouldn't know that you ever had a problem with depression. So was it a light switch? Is it something that you have to maintain? What's the key for you? What's the ingredients for you because you look like such a joyous person. Even now, man, I mean, you got such a nice smile. You really do glow with love. And I know that it's all about the Lord and stuff like that. But is there more? Like, what's the ingredients? What's the recipe for your joy, man?
Yeah. So, for me, I've learned something, right? There's this book and I totally recommend it for everybody, but there's 9 personalities in the world and that's it. different people, unique people, but 9 personalities exist within
Bring them.
all of
Come on,
us.
man. Let's educate everybody. What are they?
So you have 1, the perfectionist.
Okay.
All right.
That's not me.
You have 2, you have 2, the helper, right? And that's one of mine.
That's one of mine. Sure.
3, you have the performer. 4, the romantic. 5, the investigator. 6, the loyalist. 7 is the enthusiast. 8, the challenger. 9, the peacemaker.
And which ones are you again? Which ones?
I'm the helper and the peacemaker.
Oh, the helper and the peacemaker. I could see how that blends together.
Yeah.
I think I'm kind of a helper and a performer. I like to I like to try to, probably from a youngest, I try to impress,
Okay.
as much as I can. I don't think it's necessarily for like achievement wise. I don't think it's,
Yeah.
I just always have had this thing to want to do more. So start off then. So there's 9 personalities. So is part of the whole thing to untangle this and figure this out? Is part of it to know these 9 or to identify yourself and then to go on?
Yeah, so the goal with it is you go through the list and then it gives you 20 traits per trait, right? And then you find the one that you identify with, and then it breaks it down to how you are in your childhood, how you are in relationships, how you are at work, how you are under stress, how you are when you're secure, and then it teaches you how you need to connect with God, like for your specific trait. So for me, when I picked up that book and I read it, I was like, wow, this is the best book ever. Every aspect of that personality that I have, from my motives to how I think to how I am in every situation. I was laughing. I'd put little LOLs in it because I was like, dude, this is so good. And so it taught me how to stay at my at a peak stage. And so I share that because it helps you kind of identify what you need to do in order to get out of that depressive state consistently. Because you're right. You can say just God, but you got to be real, right? God is the center, but I need to do things daily throughout my week to maintain it. And so for me, it's meditation, because my brain,
Is that prayer?
for me, meditations, I use the app Headspace.
Oh, okay. So it's not prayer time then.
No, yeah. So it's meditate. So I use Headspace. I do about 5 to 20 minutes a day in the morning. I do that. I pray. My morning routine is always like a devotional, super simple devotional, make my bed, just always win the morning for me. And I always make sure I have a clean diet. I make sure that I do the best that I can when I'm at work. And my outside life is I do 1 meeting a week for me, AA. And I make sure that I make sure that I take care of myself, because that's important, right? Because we could tend to want to help too many people and forget about ourselves. And that's a problem with a peacemaker or a helper. We tend to help others more than ourselves. And it's just loving on people. And that's it for me. Simple like that.
And do you find for no reason sometimes that you just feel the blues?
Yeah, there's days it just comes up, right? And I have to look at it like, okay, why am I what am I feeling?
Right?
And what do I need to do? And sometimes it's simple as that. What am I feeling? What do I need to do? And it's just, okay, I'm feeling tired. I'm feeling sad. I need to take a me day. And I just go and relax and accept it. If I'm feeling really depressed, I go, okay, why am I feeling this way? Okay, I'm not taking care of myself again. So it's always identifying it, because usually for me, for my personality, it says it comes up because I overhelp. And when I overhelp, I carry these resentments. I think people are not appreciating me because I'm driven by being valued by people to feel important. And that's why that book helps me kind of catch myself, because without that, I don't know why I am. And I start losing my freaking mind. And I'm like, what am I doing wrong? Do I need to pray more? Do I need to eat better? Do I need to work out more? God, what's going on? Am I supposed to kill myself now? Like, this is stupid. Why is this happening? Oh my gosh, I'm going to be alone. I'm ugly. I need to get into a relationship. Like, my mind will go crazy. And so that book helps me go, no, it says, if I don't do this and that, I will feel this way. And that helps keep me on edge, or helps keep me balanced. Because before that, I never knew why I was depressed. My brain, I don't connect with my feelings. I analyze them.
Yeah. I'm just processing all of that. There's one thing that I liked depression wise that has helped me out a bunch. There's actually a few things. Actually, I'll just break out a couple nuggets too as we're kind of sharing here a little bit. I found a guy on YouTube, forgot who he was. It was one of my darker times, and I was typing in how to whatever, right? And this guy said, number one, it was meditation. It's actually, I think it was only 5 minutes. Actually, it's this weird kind of meditation where you put your arms out. I want to do it, but you had to, you held your arms out and then you pointed up like this. It actually gets kind of hard for like 5 minutes to hold your arms, like totally close your eyes and do it. And then the whole idea of actually just clearing your mind is really tough, right?
Yeah.
For me, the way that I was able to clear my mind is I'm trying to think what the book was that I read. Eckhart Tolle, I think.
Is it The Power of Now or
Power of Now? Yeah. And kind of, I think about thoughts like they're a mouse or a rat, like I'm a cat, and I'm going to watch this hole for a thought to come out. The thought is like the rat, so I'm going to wait, right? And so actually kind of been focusing like, okay, when's the thought going to come out? Then it comes out, then I kind of get rid of it. Then I'm just going to wait for the next one. And the longer you do that, I find that you actually go longer and longer periods without a thought, where you're just sitting there. Your thought is, I'm waiting for a thought, right? Really interesting. So there's meditation. Then the next part was that the guy said, after you do the meditation, I don't know if it was in the specific order, but there's 3 parts. The second part was to go for a walk and just to repeat, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for everything. Thank you for this tree. Thank you. It wasn't necessary to thank you to God, but I think it's probably going to go there in terms of thank you, right? And then the last part was cold showers, which it surprised me if you do cold showers, you do intermittent fasting and everything else. So you're so I don't like taking cold showers. We had a feature in the magazine a while ago of a guy that was a cold shower guy. I'll take a normal shower, a hot shower. I'm not doing it now. I'm on a cold shower fast. So
I like that one. A cold shower fast. I'm gonna jump on that today.
Well, what I would do is after I'm totally done with the shower, man, I hit the cold water for like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's supposed to be really good, man. It hits you in the forehead.
Yeah.
You get it under your arms. You get it on your face. It releases all this kind of. But that was the 3 things that it did. So that's awesome. So one of the things I was going to ask you though, bro, is like, what is your purpose? You talked about your purpose. I mean, you're easy because you went so heavy, you went so deep and so heavy so fast. Like, what's your purpose, man? What are you called to do? And what's the jump roping figure into?
Yeah, I think I believe my purpose is to spread hope to the hopeless. I really do. When I try to ask that question, right? Because I go, how do you find your purpose? And I look at my pain. Okay, I look at my pain, and when I give that pain away to other people, like I help them understand their pain and share it with them, it's when I feel most connected. And when I constantly make my life about helping people, and I mean, if you were to look at my Google Calendar, you would see how much I love helping people. Like I just, it makes me excited, and it's all free. People see me as a life coach, recovery coach. I never charge money. I don't. I just don't, I'm not, I tell myself, huh?
Are you gonna at some point?
If God wants me to, because I have a mentor. He's a legendary recovery coach. I don't know if you've heard of Set Free Ministries. Okay, so he's the guy that started Set Free Church in the 90s, and it was the first punk rock hip hop church, and it was 8,000 people, and it was all free. He never asked for money, nothing. And he was on the TV. It was all drug addicts and homeless people, the whole church. All that. And he taught me a lot of wisdom. He goes, Fausto, remember this, you're a rookie. So give it for free and God will pay you. And so I ran with that, and I've been doing that.
Is that true? Does it always happen? You always get paid?
From the stories that he shared me with him and stuff, how it worked. Yeah. And
you ever think like, oh man, how am I gonna pay the bills, man? I don't have the money to do this.
And that's why I have like my full-time job, so it's like playing it smart. So I keep my full-time job as a counselor that pays my bills. I wear the same outfit every day. If you start looking, I wear the same things.
Dude. That's what I see you on Instagram with.
Yeah. So I go, okay, I got my money. I'm homeless right now too. I've been homeless since December 26th by
What?
choice. Yeah, I've been living in a church.
You're homeless right now.
Yeah,
Wow. I don't know that we've ever interviewed anybody that was homeless, but you're
yeah.
homeless by choice,
I'm
right?
homeless by choice. And so I've been living in a church with guys, counseling them, offer my counseling services for free.
So
You know,
you're
we
going to
just
leave work today, you're going to go work out or whatever it is. And then when
mhm.
you go home, you're going to church.
Yeah.
You got a tent there or something or what?
I got a cot.
Oh, okay. It's like in a basement or something.
It's like a little like giant room, and we have little cots in the corners. And so like if you're homeless or an addict, we'll find you and bring you in. Hey, come on, we'll make room. Well, here's a bed, here's a pillow. People donate food. I'll hit people up to give us food and stuff. And
How long are you going to be homeless for?
whenever God tells me I don't need to,
You think you might be homeless for a year or two?
it could be.
It's a long time.
So check this out.
It's got to be kind of hard to date, dude. You're 28. How do you date when you're homeless, man?
You'd be surprised. It's funny because I think God's telling me something. He said, "Hey, you got the love drug problem. You need to stop. You need
Maybe. Yeah.
to, But it's crazy because I started being homeless December 26th. It's going to be 3 months now, and I haven't had to pay for food. I haven't had to pay for a roof over my head. I've had people offer me homes in Newport, Irvine, Washington, Oregon, New York. People offer to buy me a home.
Buy you a home.
Yeah, like put the not the whole home, but I'll pay for it for you. The first down payment, pay for your rent, the first month to get you in. You let me know when you're ready. And all these moms and dads that have helped their kids offer me their homes. And like, I'm going to be in Huntington Beach for 10 days starting tomorrow. My friend gave me their house for 10 days. And I'm like, thank you. And I'm realizing like God's going, Fausto, look how much you love people. You don't even need to pay for anything. Everyone wants to help you because of how you treat people.
Uh,
And so that really put like perspective. I was like, oh my gosh, God, I see what you did. Like you're showing me because I'm too busy and I don't believe in myself and I have low self-worth so bad. I don't realize the blessings right in front of me because I don't like asking for help. And when I got away from my home that I was at from a situation that happened and I had to leave, it showed me how good of a person that I am. And so my purpose is helping people. I just fucking love helping people so much. Like
have you always been that way?
always since a kid.
Hmm.
And like, I mean, I've run into high profile people like that. I've met musicians like
You're
that.
like, no. I don't even want anything. They're like, no, let me pay. Like, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm literally like, yeah, like this Tuesday, this person like hits me up on Clubhouse, and he goes, "Dude, I heard your
I'm like the
voice.
last guy not on Clubhouse, by the
Oh,
way.
you got to get on it. It's amazing for
All right.
recovery.
Huh?
It's amazing for recovery. And like, so like last week, this guy goes, I heard your voice on Clubhouse. I need to take you out to eat. I went, okay. Took me out to eat at Maggiano's in South Coast Plaza. And he's like, dude, buy whatever you want, take whatever you want, take whatever food you want home with you. Like, just let me know what you need. And I'm like, why do you do this? And he's just like, dude, you have a gift. He's like, when I speak to you, you speak so much hope. And he's like, I don't know what it is, but how can I help you? So I've always had that in my life. And that's why I'm like, my purpose is helping people because everybody says the same thing about me. And so yeah, that's my purpose is helping people.
So I want you to talk right now. I want you to talk directly to the guy that is out there that's thinking, I got no fucking hope, man. You guys are talking about all this shit,
Mhm.
fucking hope, and I want to kill myself or whatever. Somebody's, I want you to talk directly to that guy, man. What do you got to say to that dude?
Yeah. I know in this moment right now you're feeling hopeless and I get it, you know. But I want to let you know this right now, that feeling that you're having is actually a sign for you. And what it's telling you is that you're meant for greatness. And the evil out in the world is trying to break you down because it knows what you're going to do. It knows that you're going to help so many people. And the negativity in the world doesn't want you to do that. So I want you to reframe that hopelessness, and I want you to understand that you're actually um, one moment away from changing the whole direction of your life. And I want you to be able to trust with what I'm saying. And that's where I'm going to share all my deepest, darkest secrets with you, where I was hopeless. I want you to see how vulnerable that I am with you. And through that process, that's where we'll build that trust. because I know you've probably been betrayed, lied to, and hurt. And who am I to approach you? You might just think I'm another person, right? Just trying to get something from you. But I want to let you know that I truly do care about you. And whatever you need, I want you to let me know what it is. And I promise you I'll do whatever I can to help you with that. And once I show you that, you'll be able to see how much I truly do care about you. Because I know that you may think you're worthless, but something out there thinks you're priceless. So just don't give up. I promise you this moment right now, it's not going to last. And I just want to let you know that I love you and I care about you.
That's good, man. I've never done that before, but I just kind of felt led to do that. So on that note, how do people get in touch with you, man?
Yeah, you guys can get in touch with me on Instagram at Sober Fausto. I got a YouTube channel, Sober Fausto, where I do weekly videos giving out free hope, healing, and inspiration. My website, soberfausto.com. If you guys are in the Orange County, LA County area, we have a house that's open 24/7. It's called the Magic House in Anaheim. The door is always open. It doesn't matter what time it is. You just show up. You need a place to stay. We'll get you a bed. We'll get you a room. If you need anything, if you have dreams that you want to accomplish, we will help make those dreams become your reality. And don't question anything. Just literally show up, and you'll see what I mean by once you get there.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
That is off the chain, man. That is off the chain. I've never heard anything like that at all. You know what? I'm not going to try to do any better. I'm not going to try to do anything. I think I'm just going to stick to landing, man. I just want to say thanks for jumping on. It was really fun. It was overdue. It's been a pleasure to meet you and to talk with you. And thanks for sharing yourself, not only with everybody that you do around you, but thanks for sharing yourself with our, with the people here at Recovery Today, man. Special, it's cool. And you're a very, very unique and good person. So I appreciate you, man.
Oh yeah, thank you too. Like it was cool because right when I heard about Recovery Today magazine, like that's how my brain works. I said, oh, okay, I want to get on that somehow. Like it's one of those things like, oh, that'd be so cool to be on that magazine. Okay, how am I going to make that happen? All right, I'm going to write about it. I'm going to visualize it and I'm going to see it happen. So when you hit me up, because you hit me up when you saw the baptism thing. And you're like, oh, you're a Christian. I didn't know that. And we started talking and it was like, oh, here it is again, God. See, like every time I let go and don't force things, he saw a video once I started letting go. You know, it's like, I'm just going to baptize someone, didn't think nothing of the video. And then you reached out. So thank you again for helping me believe in God more. That did help. So I appreciate that.
For those of us that believe in God, and maybe that's everybody to a degree or not, I don't know. And we're not Recovery Today is not a Christian magazine. I don't hide the fact I'm a Christian, but I don't honestly, I don't like to say I don't care what religion you are, but we don't exclude, because Christians from a Christian perspective, like we think everybody should be a Christian. Why wouldn't you want to? But we're not a Christian magazine, but yeah, that's probably what I saw. And I just like you though, man. You're attractive in this, love is attractive. And so is giving. And so, yeah, I'm glad that we, have kind of carried on back and forth through social. And I'm appreciative, as I said, to get to know you and to, have you share yourself with the audience here. So thanks so much, man.
Yeah, thank you too. This was fun.
Good. This has been another fun, cool, and that this interview was for you. If he was talking to you, you need to contact Sober Fausto now and drop him a DM on Instagram or whatever it is on social. That was for you. We did this interview for you. So we'll see you on the next interview of Recovery Today magazine. Thank you so much, and it's a wrap.